My neighbor has been battling with his ex-wife over custody and child support for about 6 months. And just as he was getting ready to win and have custody of his daughter, and she was going to be put on child support and supervised visitation, she pulled out the "I want a DNA test." And I'm going to have you guys know, this wasn't even his daughter, and she knew all along. She was just trying to screw him over, remove him from this child's life, put him on child support so that she could get back with the father who just got out of prison. I mean, look, this is like right out of the Springer Show bullshit. She's a Christian, goes to church every Sunday, teaches Sunday school. I mean, I'm here to tell you guys, be effing careful.
There's a new bill in the Ohio House named the Right to Know Act.
Tim, Kaylee, the act is all about requiring hospitals to offer genetic testing at birth to verify paternity, as well as reduce any errors that could possibly happen in hospitals.
Taxes. And I care about where my money goes. I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business. Handle your personal shit. And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems. I'm sorry, I'm not paying for no mandatory tests. I don't think there's any issue with a man taking care of another man's child. Women do it all the time, whether you know or not.
From the east to north to south, in this wicked ass place. The topic: mandatory DNA tests at birth. The questions: why you think some women have a major problem with mandatory DNA? Let's get into it. I am your host. I am the one.
Okay, here's what I think. The Right to Know Act here in Ohio. I'm not real familiar with it, but I will get information on it. I think that's a great idea. Here's the thing. Being that I'm way over 60, so I've seen people that was not the father, and for years they have never known. Now, here's the thing. This is a great idea because they did not have DNA testing. And to assume that you're a father of a child that's not yours, and with this child support system that have really put men in such a bad position where he don't want anything to do with his children. Now, I want you to add on top of that, that you have been put through this for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Let's even talk about the child support years. And you come to find out, the baby is not even yours. Now, that's a problem. And the reason I know it for a fact, because I know some women that have done exactly that. And I will have to look and shake my head. And this was way back in the day. Women have no sympathy for anyone. I mean, it seemed like when they do things like this, you know, they'll just make a statement, go ahead and pass the chicken. You know, pass the potato salad, as if it's no big deal. It's a big deal if it's done to them. You'll see how quick they'll want a DNA test. Now, the lady in the video, she's more concerned about making sure the train shows up on time. Do you know how dumb that really sounds? You know, how stupid that sounds. Again, women have no accountability. And I'm not saying all women. But when it comes down to accountability, they say, you know, it doesn't matter. Now, it matters if it affects them, it matters. That's when everything becomes very important, when it affects them. Apart from that, they could care less. And that's a problem. So we're going to go to the next clip. But personally, this should be a crime. But when you have no accountability, and when the lawmakers have no accountability, these women will continue to do the same thing over and over. Because guess what? There's no consequences. At one point, there was no jail time. Now, I think these laws now, it will become a punishable offense. Let's go to the next clip.
Breaking news, guys, you will now be forced to take a DNA test after your baby is born now, because a lot of confusion has been going on during the years. So now they are making it to you have to take a DNA test as soon as the baby is born with the dude that you claim to be the dad. The dad cannot sign that birth certificate until the DNA results come back that the child is his. I feel like this is a very good thing nowadays, because sometimes the mom might be confused, don't know who the baby daddy is, and point it.
Confused is crazy way to describe that.
To the person that she thinks the baby daddy is for some reason, and it's not fair to the dad that's not the baby daddy, to still be taking care of a baby that's not his. So lawfully, I feel like this is a very great decision. I don't feel like anybody should be mad about this decision. Your baby needs to get that mouth swabbed, and that man do too. He needs to make sure that baby is his before he be signing any type of papers. Don't be mad at me, be mad at the source. So yeah, that's how. And another thing is, if you have a man that you claim the dad is, and it's not the dad, he can sue you now.
So in other words, what she's saying is, if the baby is not yours, you can recoup your money. So I think they'll think twice before they'll pull a stunt like this. It's a long time coming. As Sam Cooke says, it's a long, long time coming, because this needs to stop. Number one, marriage is out the question. And you know what? Even if you are married, it's been cases, a lot of cases. The woman is married and the babies are not his. There was a case, it was like 3 or 4 babies. All the babies wasn't his, but the law don't seem to concern themselves with that. Because there was a case up in Michigan, as a matter of fact, where a man was just like the babysitter. I mean, he was involved with the young lady, but the court said, well, the baby got accustomed to him, so they put him on child support. This system is wicked. Let's go to the next clip.
Here's why DNA tests should be mandatory after you give birth. I work at a healthcare facility, and I had a mom bring in her paperwork for her child's birth certificate, right? I go through it and I let her know that she left the father's name blank, and just to avoid any surprises, I let her know when she gets the birth certificate, obviously the father's section is going to be blank. It's only going to be her name on the birth certificate. She then is like, oh, well, can I still get child support? I let her, I told her no, because there's no name there and whatnot. And, and I let her know what she would need to do after the fact. She then tells me to give her a minute. She sits down and calls her group of friends, and they go through a list of like 4 or 5 different men on some pros and cons type shit to figure out who of these men would be the best option to be the father.
Oh.
I guess they couldn't come to a decision or whatever. She comes back to me. She's like, oh, well, can you just put my birth certificate to the side and I'll do it once I decide. Ma'am, this isn't layaway. What?
Rapper 600 Breezy is allegedly caught up in some baby mama drama. Lord. The artist posted a comment that was later shared on the Shade Room, and it seems that he's basically begging his ex to provide a paternity test for their children. He also claims he's not a deadbeat dad, but deserves to know for sure if he's supporting kids of his own. So ladies, this got me thinking, do you think, what if there was a day where maternity tests were actually, mandatory?
Because for some women, they feel that it would make more of a stigma
Yeah.
against women, you know,
It
that
makes
men
a stigma if you don't want to
stigmatize.
share the results.
Yeah, right.
It becomes a stigma. If it was just mandatory and it was all over, the stigma would actually go away.
Check in and make sure, just like you
That's
get all
it.
the tests when you are pregnant.
That's
you're taking
it.
blood tests, you're making sure the dad's healthy, you're making sure mom's healthy.
Well, it's good
Let's just
for
make sure it's your baby.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
It's good for the genetics.
Absolutely.
I will say that.
Yes.
But I think that there's still an issue with it's stigmatizing. Women are already women are already held to a different standard when it comes to, you know, if you're married, but a lot of women that aren't married and having multiple partners and things like that.
You know, that really makes no sense to me whatsoever. A woman or women to be stigmatized. Well, you know what? I don't remember them asking a man about taking the life of a little baby. When they get an abortion, the man have no say. Now all of a sudden, they don't want to be stigmatized. You know, I've heard a lot of stupid ass things. But the more I listen at certain people, the more I realize they're just plain dumb. Thank you for watching. I am your host. I am the one.